Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning into the Financial Investor channel. My name is Brent, and today we're going to be answering a viewer and subscriber question here on the channel. I was recently asked. I am going to be doing a new sort of segment every week, picking a few questions that are asked on the channel in the comment section and then answering them, and then creating a video going over the question, going over the answer. A lot of the times the viewer subscribers ask some really good questions that I believe others would benefit from either listening to, or maybe they want to have the same question answered or asked. And a lot of times other viewers and subscribers, they also pitch in, put out their thoughts, and I believe kind of going forward, I think this is a really good idea to kind of share the information, and it will benefit everyone across the board, because some of the comments can be lost between all the videos, where someone may ask a really good question in a video that is a year old and then it's answered, but then the newer viewers, subscribers, they don't really get to see that information unless they go back and see that specific video. So we are going to be answering a question on today's video. If you guys are brand new to the channel, hit that subscribe button below. I do cover the stock market, dividends, entrepreneurship. If you do enjoy this video, find it helpful, hit that thumbs up. And if you have any comments yourself you would like to have answered here on the channel, drop them in the comment section. I read and reply to all your comments, and I really do appreciate all the feedback that I do receive. So I'm going to go ahead and post a comment that was left here. It was left by Blood Phantom 81. They became confused because of my lingo that I don't always talk in the stock market lingo. I'm not a financial advisor of any sort, so when I say that there's room to fall, so here he said extremely confused about why there's room to fall for Genuine Parts Co. and it has a ceiling. So that is the question that was asked, and we're going to go ahead and answer that specific question here on the channel. And that came out of one of my past videos called the Top 12 Dividend Aristocrats to Buy for 2019, and how I screened over 88 stocks. So I'm going to go ahead and play the small little clip of what I said, and then we'll go into the specific answer that I gave. In here, where it falls nearly to $80 and it has some highs of nearly 115. So currently, when I'm looking at just this period here, you have room to fall. You have about $20 of room to fall, and you really only have what, I'm going to look at the 1 year period again here, and your high is maybe 115. So you have more opportunity here to fall down into that $80 range into the future than it really to climb higher. It has that ceiling here, and it just isn't going anywhere, while it does have a starting yield. Okay, so what I said there basically, that it has room to fall down into that $80 mark, and then it has a current ceiling of $115. Now I looked at it over a 5-year period. There was a little snippet here where I looked here over the last 5 years. So from 2009 all the way to 2019. Since 2015, you can see that this stock hit some highs of about $110. Now it has came down into this $80 mark. It came back up into this 110. It came down into this $80 mark, and then it just broke to all-time highs of $115 somewhere around April, before coming back down to $101. So that is its sort of range. The range can be anywhere between $80 to $115. What I did is I went over here to Genuine Parts. I used Bing here for example, but I looked at the 5-year period. Now here, over the past 5 years, you can see that since May 16, 2014, that was at 85. Now if you kind of follow along to the right here, you'll see that some lows here broke below that 80, so really close to 80, $78.47. And it's hit some highs here of nearly 105 before coming back down into that $80 range. It trailed again, into those $90, $100, and they came back down into the 80s. And it's just sort of done this whole seesaw. It's $80 up to about 110, falls back down to 80. It kind of, this is the range that it has over the past 5 years. Now recently, on April 5th, come on up to the top. Okay, that's correct. April 5th, 2019, it hit all-time highs of $115.14. So that is its ceiling. That's the highest point that this stock has ever been over the past 5 years. So 115 is its resistance. They call it resistance. I called it a ceiling. It's the resistance point that this specific stock will hit and has hit before coming down. Now, what caused it to drop from 115 into this now trading of $96.42. Well, they missed their earnings. They came below. They came in at 128 per share when they were expecting 131, and they came in with a 4.7 billion versus 4.8 billion. So they missed their earnings by 3% and they missed their revenue by 1.31%. So I believed here in the short term, with the range that it was trading in, if we look here at a high of 115 and its current price was 101.36. So 101.36, and it had some highs of, let's see, it was $115 and some change. We'll just leave it at 115. We'll calculate that. That's a difference of about 12%, 12.5%, 12.6% upside in this specific stock, and that is if it has perfect financials. You know, it blows out expectations on its earnings. You know, investors are really looking to get into it. They're buying it up. They believe going over the next quarters and into the future that this stock is going to be pumping it, and they're buying into it, and they pass expectations, and they beat earnings and all that, and that pushes that stock higher to 115. But there's going to be resistance there, and if it misses earnings again, it'll fall back down into that $100 range. So you're really only looking at about a 12% increase there to all-time highs. Now, if we bring in our lows, so again, what were our lows? Around that $80 mark. We'll just say 80. You know, back in 2016, it was at 78, but for the most part, it trails back into about this 81, 80 some dollar range. So I'm going to go ahead and put in $80 here as our sort of difference here. I'm going to go ahead and calculate this. Now, from $101 to $80, that is almost a 23% difference to the downside. So when I'm looking at this, you're looking at only 12% upside potential when you're beating expectations. You're coming out there beating earnings. You're coming out there beating revenue. It's getting the attention of other dividend investors, whereas currently it's missed its earnings. It's still guiding forward. You know, it's guiding forward as it expected its earnings to be in that range and its revenue to be in that range. But what happens in the next quarter if they miss again? They miss their revenue. They actually lower their expectations for 2019 because production is slowing down. Then what do you expect that company to do? Do you expect it to continue higher into that 115 range, or do you see it possibly falling down from that currently $96 point down into that $80 point, maybe even retracting even further into that $76, $78 point at its lows for the past 5 years? So that is what I meant there by that specific statement that I posted there on the video. So all I did was quickly look at the 5-year period. It had a range over the past 5 years. This one actually showed it quite a bit better. You can just see that the stock just trails sideways. There's no earnings that really make it go above and beyond. There's no misses that really make it trail and fall below the $80 mark. So this is a pretty non-volatile, you know, there's about a 12-24% difference there between where you're buying and where you're not. But that is all I meant there by that specific question. So Genuine Parts has 12% upside potential, 23 downside potential, and just overall, over the short term, if they miss their upside, their earnings in the upcoming quarters, that is going to drive them even further. And if they do beat expectations, they blow it out of the park, they're really having that resistance mark at $115. So hopefully I was able to explain that question and you guys are able to kind of get a little bit of a feeling of why I said that specific statement and what price highs and lows and their sort of trend line that I saw there for that specific stock, and was able to kind of provide that information. So that is basically all I wanted to cover in today's video. Just a very quick video, not too long. So again, if you are brand new to the channel, hit that subscribe button below. If you did enjoy the video, find it helpful, hit that thumbs up. And if you have any comments yourself you'd like to drop, either over a video, over a specific topic, drop them in the comment section. I always read and reply, and I'll go ahead and probably create a video out of it if you guys would like to have a specific question answered here on the channel. So that is it. Thank you all for tuning in. I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.